Hello Gundam fans and welcome back to my channel. I'm Laguna and I'm so happy to have you all joining me once again. Now today we're gonna do something quite different, as in the thing that I'm gonna review next is something that is actually very rare, and some of you who just got started in the Gundam universe may not have even heard about it. Now imagine yourself in the year 0083, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an Australian desert. Now the location is, of course, the well-known Federation Torrington base, and the GP02 Gundam Physalis has just been stolen. As it's making its escape, the Torrington base is under heavy artillery attack. And where did all the heavy artillery attack comes from? Bam! Introducing the YMS-16M Xamel. Now this thing here is very unique in terms of that it just departs totally from the Gundamish or the Zakuish design. And that's the reason why, a lot of people either hate it or love it. But I myself kind of find it very unique. Now, yeah, I should get myself that rotating thing soon. But anyway, so as you can see, this thing here is huge, or supposed to be huge. Now, let me just introduce you once again. This Zamel is from a really old action figure series called the MS Mobile Suit in Action, M.S.I.A. for short. And for those of you old-time collectors who have some M.S.I.A. in your collection, you will know that this thing, M.S.I.A. collection, usually comes in the 1 out of 200-ish, I guess, or is it 1 out of 80-ish scale? I'm not too sure, but it's definitely not the usual 1 out of 144 scale that usually Robot Damashi or Robot Spirit comes in. So yeah, it may look a bit small, but it is still very imposing. Now this thing here is like a prototype. I would almost call this a mobile armor, and there's no exactly known how many of these prototype units were produced, but one definitely appeared in the Gundam 0083, the Stardust memory, used by the last fleet under the Operation Stardust to steal the prototype RX-78 GP02A Gundam Physalis from the Earth Federation forces in UC 0083. So it inflicts severe damage to the Torrington base in Australia. It was later destroyed, I believe, in episode 2 while trying to cover for the escape of the Gundam GP02 Physalis. Now, this is an action figure, so this is meant to be played with. Now, I've lost the original packaging. Bear in mind, this thing here was released all the way back in the year 2003. Yeah, that's like nearly 20 years ago. I got this, I believe, back in the year 2008. I got this secondhand from one of my friends who, due to real life issues, quit his Gundam collection. So this is one of the more unique pieces that I bought over from him. Still in good condition. For those of you who know the M.S.I.A. line, it can be a bit flimsy, and the plastic material is more rubberish. So yeah, this has stood the test of time. You can still play around with it. This thing is quite durable. But let me just skip all these intros and just get into the real deal. Now, of course, this thing here is the prototype, the actual long-range artillery unit that Xeon has ever invented. And the main weapon, as you can see, this thing here opens up. This is the main weapon, this big ass cannon that even my camera couldn't capture fully on the screen. Now let me just show you how long this thing is. It's pretty much the length of 1.5 palm. And this cannon here is huge, but you can actually rotate it down so you can see it clearer. So yeah, according to the lore, this thing, although the feet can be slightly moved, but this thing here in the anime, it doesn't really walk. This thing actually hovers, and this is where all this, big ass air intake comes in. So this thing actually hovers. It's based on the technology of the Dome series in the 1 Year War. So yeah, think of this as like the very, very big, Dome or Domtruppen, whatever you like to call it. And the technology of this artillery is derived, according to the canon, from the Hildoffer. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, Hildoffer. You can check it out online. But anyway, this is its main weapon. Let me just check out online what this cannon is called. This cannon here is called the 680 millimeter gun cannon. Yes, 680. I believe in terms of the gun size, this thing is like one of the biggest that I've known in the UC history, I believe. Minus all those beam weaponaries, of course. It fires solid shell. And it also comes with this 8-tube missile launcher. So yeah, to kind of like shake off any pursuit or just launch a whole barrage of missile. So yeah, this thing here is awesome. I couldn't really repeat that enough. It looks imposing just putting this on your display shelf. The arms are the more movable part of this whole kit. Unfortunately, the finger can't really hold anything. Okay. But yeah, this fell off. Anyway, this being a toy, some parts kind of flimsy, can be detached easily, but it also can be reattached back. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this kit. Actually, not kit, this action figure, except that it's very awesome. It's kind of a pity that I lost the original packaging. But anyway, now, in this kit itself, the M.S.I.A. line, there is actually a special hidden function that is non-canonical. You don't see it in the anime. I'm not too sure if the canon story itself states that it can do this, but this kit comes in with this special function where you can detach it like this from the back. So with this back part detached, now what do you actually do with it? Now, there is this part here where you can just lower it down. There's this hydraulic jack thingy here that connects to this part, this hole here. Let me just, okay. So there's a hole here. This is like this hydraulic jack looking thingy. You just attach it in. So now it becomes like a steady, I don't know, gun turret. All you need to do next is just rotate this, I believe. Yep, rotate this part. And then you position the other half, the main half of the Zamel behind, and just kind of, you know, make the finger look something like this. And there you have it. Not canonical, I believe, wasn't shown in the anime, but yeah, now you have the Zamel detached from its, you know, behind, using its behind as this like a standstill turret thingy, and it can fire this 680 millimeter caliber gun cannon turret thingy. So yeah, this thing here is awesome, like really awesome that I have no other words to describe it. Now, it's of course due to its limited articulation. For the back part, you can see that, okay, this fin here is movable. The legs, once again, there's a bit of articulation. If you were to bend it all the way back, it looks something like this. But other than that, that's pretty much it. This is one of those action figures that is meant to be displayed, you know, as a background, I guess, as a very imposing background. Looks good, you know, just looks good. Firing its super big, super long cannon. And what else can I say about this kit? What else can I say about this action figure? Both of it just looks awesome. So yeah, this pretty much sums up the review for this YMS-16M Xamel from the UC0083 Stardust memory. Now, I believe this is the first review of a mobile suit or mobile armor that is not from the UC0079 1 Year War timeline. I will do a lot more of this kind of review in the future because I have a lot of collection, bear in mind. This just crossed my mind suddenly as I took this out from my display shelf. You may notice that it's kind of a bit on the dusty side. Okay, so forgive me for that. Yeah, it's old, but it really stood the test of time in terms of detailing. Looks awesome. Maybe one of these days I will spend some time doing like better panel lining. But there's actually like the panel linings here actually look quite prominent because originally already kind of, so the painting itself came with this like a light brownish panel line already done. So yeah, the detail just looks not bad. I forgot what is the, you know, release price for this thing, since this thing is like, I got it secondhand and this thing is like almost 20 years old. But I will put the release price up here on the screen. But meanwhile, enjoy the amount of details on this rare action figure that is really, really hard to get. I believe this thing now sells on eBay for almost like $300, $200. I'm not too sure. The second-hand market for these collectibles can be really crazy sometimes. But yeah, this is how it is. And before I end, let's just do some sizing comparison. Now, as usual, I will compare it with the original, maybe not so original, RX-78-3 G3 Gundam. Now, this one here is from the Gundam Fixed Figuration line. So I've done a review on this. You can check it out on my video. Now, the Gundam Fixed Figuration line is mostly 1/144 scale, okay? I say mostly because I'm not very sure, but anyway, So you can take this as the 1/144 scale standard, you put it beside, and you can see that the Zamel is supposed to be way, way bigger, way, way taller. Now, everybody kind of know that this RX-78 is 18 meter tall, and the Zamel, according to the Gundam Wiki, is 27 meter tall. Yeah, it's 27 meter tall. So it should be like almost this tall. So this is where the difference in scale comes in. This thing here, this G3 here is 1/144 scale. This M.S.I.A. Zamel is probably 1/200, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1/200. So, 18 meter divided by, 144 versus 27 meter divided by 200. So yeah, that's pretty much almost the same. So what else can I say about this? Besides, just wrapping it out and say that if you can manage to find this online and you have the budget to spare, you can go for it. But I know that recently, I believe it's 2-3 years ago, or is it 2 years ago, the Robot Damashi line released the 1/144 scale Zamel, which is like way bigger than this. So if you have the budget, go get it. If you don't really have the budget for the Robot Spirits line, if you can find this cheap online, then you can go get this as well. Because despite its age, this M.S.I.A. Zamel is still pretty awesome. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to pop it in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to answering questions, and if you guys want probably some more extra shots of this Zamel, or just any further thoughts or questions that you want to ask, I'll be more than happy to answer them. So before I end, remember, stay cool, stay original, stay safe, and stay passionate of your hobby. Laguna out.